Well, welcome to Cord Art. It's been quite a while since I made a video, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm a bit rusty. Today's video is about how to achieve making one of these half hitch plaits. Now, I've been experimenting with these, all different sorts of cord. Some I like, some I'm not too keen on. I mean, this was a good quality cord, American cord, which I gutted and used on that one. This was a complete 550 cord. It's come out quite nice, but it comes out quite thick. But we'll talk about the thickness a little bit later. This one I wasn't so much happy. I started videoing this as for this video, but I completed it because I didn't really hit the ball. The reason being is that it's a cheap Chinese cord. It's not come out too bad, but I thought we could do a better job than that. So we'll talk about cord as well. So that's the Paracord ones. Sorry, not quite. There's a Paracord 2mm stripped out bracelet. It's not too bad again. Not one of my favourites. I like these rat-tail ones. As you can see, it's the same design, but they're reversed. This one's reversed. This one's got the half hitches showing. This one's got the braid showing. But we're going to attempt today to make something like this with a high quality cord. So how do we go about that? Well, it's quite basic really. You need very little to make this. You don't need a jig. You just need the right length of cord, a lighter and a pair of scissors. Now we're only going to be tying two different types of knot today, and that's a half hitch and then a stopper knot towards the end. Now what I intend on doing is getting this video going, do 2 or 3 knots down the core, and then return to you once I've furthered the project. So how do we get started? We need a 30-inch piece of cord. You might be able to get away with less than that. Now that's whole cord. I reckon this is about 3mm cord rather than 4mm cord. I won it in a competition, so I'm not really quite sure how thick it is, but it doesn't seem the normal thickness of 550. So 30 inches, whole cord, and that's for the core. We got 3 other doubled over pieces of cord here. Each one is 5 foot long. Now the reason I want them 5 foot long is because I got quite a big wrist, about 8.25 inch wrist, and 5 feet on 3 cords is ample. You get away with less than that if you're making a smaller one, probably down to about a metre to 4 feet, somewhere between the two. You'd have to experiment. I've been doing quite a lot of experimenting on how to tie this bracelet, by all various ways of tying the half hitches and the braids. I won't go into it all, but I've come up with this as being probably the best solution. So let's get started. We get our 30-inch piece, double it over, so we got more or less 15 inches each side. The reason we need that length is this is going to be the core, and it's going to wrap around the hand. Then we need enough cord on the end to tie a stopper knot. So that's doubled over. We'll start off with a blue, as I say, 5 foot of gutted cord. We just place that over the top. Let's make sure we're on screen. We'll just place that over the top of the loop, and then we've got both of these coming down. We're just going to tie a half hitch with these 2 cords, but we're going to do a right over left. All the half hitches we're going to tie today is right over left. Now the only other thing that I neglect to say you need is a pair of teeth to bring up the slack. So there we are. We've got that around the loop. We're going to pull that down now, nice and tight. Tension is key on this bracelet. So we want a 1/2 inch loop on the end, like so, nice and tight. That's going to take our stopper knot. So we want to be just about accurate on how much. You could tie a stopper knot on another piece of cord and just try it through to make sure it fits. But there's our 1/2 hitch, a right over left 1/2 hitch. Then going to go on to the brown. Going to pass that around the core. So we got that looped around the core, and we've more or less got 1/2 either side. Do another 1/2 hitch, right over left, under and through. Tighten down. So we've got 2 nice 1/2 hitches there, and the idea is to get them as equal as possible going over the top of that core. Finish off with the 3rd blue. Now I'm using 3 cords. You can use 2 cords on this bracelet, or you can use multi-cords. The more cords you use, the thicker the bracelet will become. With these 3 higher grade, I made the loop slip slightly then, so we'll just make sure we've got it still. Yeah, with these high grade cords, 3 gutted comes out just about right. Right over left, under, up through. Tighten down. Now it's essential that we start off well. So we need our 3 1/2 inch 1/2 hitch, just like so. Now from this point on, the whole tie is about tension. I can't teach you tension. It's something that you have to try. After doing so many of these bracelets, I've done about 10 of these, so I've got a feel for it, and I think that's the only way that I can put over, is that you need to get a feel for the cords. So just coming a bit closer, we've got 3 cords tied round, and this idea came to me after tying a few of the vortexes, because this is how a vortex starts off. But I like to call it a 1/2 inch braid, or with the little, this is a princess's bracelet. Whose little princess wouldn't want one of those at the fair? You'll get my meaning. But this one is something that I want to wear. So how do we go about this now? So right top blue, we bring it down. Sorry, I'm going to get in shot. Right top blue, we bring it down and round to the base of the core. Yeah. Right first, right hand side first. Keep everything right hand side first. Then the left comes down to the core, round the core, like so. So now we've got both of those 2 cords coming down at the base of the 3 1/2 hitches. Now nice and tight, and then a right hand 1/2 hitch again. Right hand 1/2 hitch, tighten down. So now we have 4 1/2 hitches coming down the core. And this is all quite repetitive, because now we'll do the brown right hand side again, down to the bottom, left hand side round the back of the core to the bottom, bring them through. Just concentrate on the two that you're tying, forget about these for the moment as you go along, nice and tight. I tend to pull one and then the other to get the right tension. Half hitch, right over left. Your half hitches could be left over right, but I would say keep them all the same. Now you have to work at this to keep it nice and stacked with half hitches. Yeah. So that's two. We do the second blue, right hand side down to the left, left hand side top down to the left. I should have used different cords for the coloured cords for the core, it would have been easier to see. But there, we're going to now pull down nice and tight, give those a bit of a tension, right over left, half hitch. So all we're doing is stacking half hitches on top of each other. Now when we're doing this, you'll notice that this whole thing wants to loop over that way, bend over that way. Can you see the bend coming? Don't worry about that. That would be sorted out later. So there we are. We've actually got 3 half hitches and then 3 more making the pattern. And then on the back, the pattern is just starting to come. We'll do 3 more knots together. Then I intend on going offline and carrying on towards the end. So top right down to the bottom, top left down to the bottom. Grab hold of those 2, there they are. Keep hold of the center, pull them nice and tight, and you'll see it's making it arch over further. Don't worry about that. Tight, tight, right hand side over the top of the left, up and through for a half hitch. Pull tight with the teeth, and we're on to our second part of the bracelet. Like so. Brown top right, left, left top right, left top down to the right. Grab hold of those 2 around the core, pull nice and tight. Right hand side over the top of the left for the half hitch. As I say, it's all about tension, keeping them nice and tight, as tight as you can get them. We'll do that last blue, top right to the left, top left to the right. Bring them through, around the core, nice and tight. Right hand side, over the left, under and up through. And there we have a total of 9 half hitches at the moment. And that's the sort of pattern we're going to get. I think it's quite effective. So I'll carry on and do about all down to about 3 away from finish, and I'll come back to you. Okay. Well, welcome back. As you can see, I've travelled down the core and I've actually got 44 half hitches there. Don't want to be anal about it, but that's how many there is, 44 half hitches. I need 3 more, which will make it 47. Then when we do the stopper knot with the core, that'll make it 48. So for an 8-inch wrist, that's how many you need, 47. So let's just carry on and do those extra 3. So I won't bore you with the verbals. Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm getting the right fix here because I've only just returned. So right to the bottom there. This right, this left to the right at the base. There we go. Tie her up. Right over left. Right, that's 1. The brown, right down, left down. Like so. Grab the core with your thumb, give it a good old tug. One more blue. There we go. Tight again. And the half hitch, last half hitch. Straighten them all up, like so. Now we want to test it for size. So if we put the 2 strands of core through the loop, draw it through, and then we'll pass the wrist through and just check it for sizing. Now, having in mind the loop is, no, you can't see a lot there. Let's get those ones out of the way. Having in mind the loop is about 1/2 inch to 1 inch long, I like equidistant. So my knot is going to be like so. Yeah, the same distance from there to there is the same distance from there to there. So I'm going to have my knot about equidistant, and then that looks just about right. It's come out quite nice, this one. I'm quite pleased with it. So without further ado, let's get rid of all these excess cords. You can see that my sizing's a bit off. I've got a fair bit of cord left over, but I didn't want to be caught out online on the video, so we'll snip those 3 off. Hopefully the light is going to work. It's not very good. Not liking that one at all. Another lighter. That's a bit better. It's got a bit of oomph behind it. Pat that down. those three off. And pat those down. Now you can see, even though when we was tying the knots and that started to bend over that way, down like so, when we completed it, it's quite flexible. Now, as I said in the beginning, you can have this both ways. You could have all the half hitches. Depends on what you think looks good. I quite like both sides. I've got a bit more of a liking to the braided side. So we're going to do a stop knot now. I will do a stop knot for the newbies who's not seen a stop knot. So you put your center finger through the two cords of the core, and this is going to be quite quick. So we take the bottom cord round your thumb, twist it over and place it on top of the vertical one like so. I like to just pull that up, that vertical one up in the middle, so I've got a bit of an arch there, and then when I bring this vertical one around the back of that and go straight through, pull it through like that, and then we got our diamond. I want to make sure you see the diamond. There's the diamond there, like so. This one goes right the way around the back of there and up through the center like so. This one comes all the way around this side, around this one here, and up through the center. Like so. Then we just tease that into position. Not looking too bad. You usually get a bit of slack that you have to take out. There's one there. There's a little bit of slack there. Pull that bit out. And then down towards the bracelet. And then it'll be one of these ends that we pull through. That one. But I said that we want equal distance from there to there, so I want my knot to come down a little bit. So all we're going to do is pull a little bit of this one through the knot and a little bit of that one through the knot. Takes me a little while to work out which one's which. So that's that one. We'll bring that one to about a ½ inch. That's right. So we shorten this one and we'll take that round through the knot, tightening up as we go. I don't think I've got the right one. Tightening up as we go. There we go. Getting as much effort into that as possible. Through the knot. So that's one short. We've still got one long one here, so we've got to find out where that goes in there. And I believe it might be that one. Yeah. Get them about the same size, i.e. those two cords there need to be about the same size. We can then carry on through the knot with that loop. Right, now you could actually go, you could tighten it up a lot more than that, I believe, but I think that should be okay. we just check that it goes through the loop. Which it does, which is good. We've got it round the wrong way at the moment. Let's twist it round. That puts the stopper knot in the wrong place. Let's take it off for a minute. Reverse it. Right. Like so. And that's more or less the finished article. So what do we do to finish it off? You can do all sorts of things. We can cut these off to a reasonable size, which I think I'll do. About that length. Yeah, just there. Heat them over. Now a lot of people put a cobra up the last bit just to make it a little bit fancy. Going back to the original, I didn't do that, but what I did do is I took a small piece of cord and with a fid took it down through, cut it off, melted, and then these are stowed inside that loop, exactly the same as what I've done on here. My loop, I ended up with a loop on this one, just goes underneath the loop that I've installed onto the bracelet. I will do that, but I'll do it offline because it's a bit fiddly. I'll just put a thing there and I'll come back to you. Well, there you go. I've put the little tag over the top or just through the thing, and they just sit up there nicely. They don't dangle down and get in the way of things. But overall, I'm really quite pleased with that one. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I haven't gone on too much. Tend to go on a bit, but there you go. Looks quite neat all the way around. So I'm Mike Fishlock. I'm a member and an admin on Paracord Off, and you're all welcome to come over and have a look, see what we do. Cheers, bye bye.